Rainbow Light.
All right. Well, welcome everybody. My name is Lulu, and today I'll be talking about our the houses, the zodiac houses, and which what each one of them means, and also what it means for your zodiac sign to be in that house. Your birth chart is like a picture of the sky. So imagine that at the time that you were born specifically, the moon, the planets, the sun was in a specific place, and that what it is your birth chart, which it has a lot of the traits that of you. So it also depends where your sign, your rising, or your moon sign, or your planet, your Mars or Venus falls also means different something. So it could be very difficult that somebody it is the same as other. That's the reason why as we all the same, we are all different. So, and this is for the whole world, I say. So the 12 houses show where the sky, the star was, the planets. So this is one way to sort of keep track of where your planets are and everything, which it is followed by a circle. We're going to divide it in half again. And there's these. It'd be like a clock, I think, every 5.
Yeah.
That's what it is. We got 12 hours, right? 24 hours in the day divided by 2. There we go. So, how do you read your chart? Like many astrology ideas, you have to see the houses to understand them. This is the houses, each little spot here. From there, you can see the chart split into 12 pieces. Each of these slices is a house. Yep. It's a house, and the first house is in the left, which is your ascendant, which it will be, this. That's where the sun rises, which it will, according to the time of your birth, you can find out which one is your rising sign. So we're all different. So to make up that, let me see, this, it would help, and the little paper. Let's say Aries is your rising sign, right? If Aries is your rising sign, then you're going to start going clockwise. What follows Aries? Gemini, then Cancer, then Leo, then you know. So that's where the houses are, which that's how
Determined.
Determined, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it will help if you go clockwise around your chart from the first house to the second, third, fourth, and so on. Moving through the houses, you'll notice that each of one is controlled by a different zodiac sign, and your sun sign, moon sign, Mercury sign, and so all live in a specific house. In some charts, they'll have a few houses together, which means sometimes you might have planets all spread out and or all together. So there's no chart that if you look at it, you say it could be wrong or not, because everybody it's different. And if you have a lot, a lot of planets and a lot of things in one house, that means your commitment. That's your main characteristics of that house. And it's good to know, because knowing what the house stands for, and it's something you can work for, something that you didn't know that you can think about. Like, I'll give the example when I get the house. So the purpose of this class is just to talk about the houses, not much of the zodiac. I'm gonna say which house it is, what it means, and what planet rules the house. Also, what zodiac rules the house. And I added the Greek god and goddesses as well. And yeah, bye-bye.
Ready for the next slide?
I'm in the, yes. We're gonna go in the first house.
Okay.
The house of self. The house of self frequently refers to the first dwelling. The position in this house controlled by the planet Mars. Let's put it here, Mars. We got Mars and the sign of Aries. I put Aries. Aries is the first sign, number 1 of the zodiac, but not necessarily it is your ascendant. Mars and the sign of Aries, and this house can help you better understand your external attributes, viewpoints, and sense of expression. Put differently, this house provides you with a wealth of information about your personality, including hints about how your personality might change over time and the visible aspects of your character. I personally don't hang on so much on this one too, because I am a Gemini rising, but I think I'm an Aquarius, so maybe I don't know much about Gemini yet. That's something that I need to think about. How do I myself as a Gemini? And the goddess for the first house, we talk, it is ruled by Mars. The goddess is the god of war, Ares. I don't know much about him. If anybody has any input on him? No?
He's a war god. That's
He's a war god. Maybe next
Yeah.
class.
War god is not necessarily bad.
No.
Because a better way to
They don't
look is
take
like
shit
it
from
got
anyone.
change, yes.
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 Aries represents the brutality of war, when Athena represents the wisdom and strategization of the art of war.
Yes.
And it says that those born under Aries sign are driven by daring, ambition, and power. All right, so we put a 1 here. Don't know whether or not. So the house number 1, house of self, ruled by Mars and Aries. House number 2 is the house of value, of possessions. Venus rules this house. And Taurus. Taurus.
The bull.
Bull. It's in the second house. Placement in this house can give you insight into everything that is yours, including your inner self, needs, desires, and abilities, as well as your finances, assets, and material surroundings. This house name and value allude to your interior values and financial situation, which is, as a Taurus, we know that usually it is their traits they like together. And the Venus is the planet, Taurus, and Hestia is the great goddess. that rules this house.
Mhm.
The zodiac signs natives are sensible people who yearn to comfort, security, and tranquility. Hestia is revealed as the modest protector of house, so she is an ideal goddess to represent Taurus. 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 You do
That's
the
it,
English,
you
the
got
A, and the O.
Mhm.
So this number 2, and as you see, again, we're going clockwise.
That's counterclockwise.
Counterclockwise, the
Yeah.
opposite of clockwise.
Yes, Wittershins.
Wilson. We can go into the other slide, into house number 3. This is the house of communication. The house of communication, it is named the third house, communication 3. What should I put here? Communication, yeah. It's also known as the house of sharing. This house ruled by the sign Gemini and Mercury.
Interesting.
Gemini and Mercury. No, Gemini, I got it. No. Fix it. Yeah, and Mercury, which it shows, it affects how you interact and communicate with others. Conversation can extend beyond texting or speaking. Something is in pair, in interchange, or transmitted is what it means. Astrologers use this house to learn more about persons reading and verbal communication methods and their potential interaction with others, their surroundings, and themselves. So all depends. You will know how communicative you are if your Venus falls in there or your Mars falls in there. Because also the planets are different, they move around as well. So it's not just one combination of being what Mars represents or what the house represents. It's the 3 things together and more to it, just since the universe is many things.
Layers.
Many layers. Yes. And the goddess of Gemini, of this house, is Athena.
Communication, yeah, you called it.
Makes sense.
You called it.
In Greek
The
mythology,
Gemini.
There you go.
has a deep connection to Gemini constellation and the zodiac sign. As a Gemini, you are in harmony with the goddess of warfare and wisdom, Athena. The 2 brightest stars in the constellation are named Castor and Pollux. So Castor and Pollux, something that I will look up what that means.
They were the founders of Rome. Right.
No, they were the ones who were on the Argo. Romulus and
Catherine.
Remus. Castor and Pollux. They were
Oh,
the
you're
ones on the
right,
Argo.
you're right, you're right.
The Romulus and Remus, I think you were thinking of.
That's who I was thinking
Yeah.
of, yes, with the
Yeah,
wolves.
Castor and Pollux.
They were somewhere in Greece.
Yeah, they were.
They were the Greek.
They were neighbors, so
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe a couple ages apart, but who knows?
So you also
No, Birch is right.
sense a connection of the mythological twins. Gemini are known for their adaptability, communication skills, and resourcefulness. And that's why have a hard time believing that I'm a Gemini. But who knows? The universe knows better.
Yeah.
So I would just go with it. The 4th house is the family house, the house of home. The 4th house is ruled by the moon and Cancer. Or the moon and Cancer. It's about ancestry, family history, and customs. It's stated differently, it provides information on the place in which one's domestic affairs are centered or home, located at the base of the astrological wheel. This house in regards by numerous astrologers as the cornerstone of an individual's identity, way of life, and convictions. This house may provide insight into how you nature others and yourself, as well as how you relate to your parents or children. So, as the house one was about self, more like your traits, this is more of how where you came from, what made you more than what you are. As it says, family, the way you treat others. So, and the Greek goddess is Artemis. Artemis, right? Artemis. It's the moon goddess. Artemis, who rules the sign of Cancer, given that Artemis possesses magical abilities to heal and prolong life, which makes sense being on the 4th house, which is the house of house, the house of house. That it helps with the healing. Say, family heals. She represents the sign nurturing and compassion aspect. Anywhere they travel, those born under the sign of Cancer will always have Artemis' shield around them. So I guess that's the person that invented home is where the heart is. So this making sense as I am talking about it. The 5th house is the house of joy. And who do we think is joyful, charming, natural, but everything about expression and creativity?
The Rune Wunjo.
This house is ruled by Leo and the Sun.
Close enough.
5. Did I mention? Yeah, this is the house of joy. Then we got a Sun and Leo. Both are very bright on their own way. The term enjoyment and satisfaction derives from what's liking is using the name of the residence. Enjoyment. The 5th house speaks to you about the things in your life that provide you happiness and fulfillment. Romance, art, culture, pastimes, games, and even your family and kids. I think it's just given examples in case if you don't know what makes you happy or joyful. It could be the kids or the pastimes. No judging. And that's in house 5. Once again, it will be more interesting when I go into each sign, what it means to you to be in house 5, the house of joy. Zeus and Leo. What do they call Leo? The term? What do they got? What's the Leo and the Sun? Zeus. I guess the sun god is Zeus.
Right.
Yeah.
Sky God.
Just making sure.
That would fit for Leo, Zeus.
Oh yeah,
It
pleasure.
would. Oh, yeah, that's it.
That's
Yeah,
definitely a Leo.
that's definitely Zeus.
In Greek mythology, Zeus, the king of gods, atop of Mount Olympus, is a formidable character. Leos may find it difficult to control their urges and aspirations. Like Zeus, those who born under the sun are driven by power, energy, and success. Which
I've known a few Leos.
Leo.
I didn't know. I don't think I knew one until I married one. So I didn't know what a Leo was.
Well,
Now-
I'm a Leo with a Phoenix, so that works.
I'm thinking, we're talking about the Leo, have a rising Leo. Interesting. All right. So, we're gonna go into the sixth house. The sixth house is the house of health. And I put the balance there. For me, health represents balance. In quick.
That good health is perfect homeostasis, which is perfect balance.
Correct.
So-
I was trying to find pictures to match the houses. Mercury and Virgo rule this house. I can see the Virgo ruling the house of balance, of thoughtfulness. The general condition of the body and mind.
Needs
The
to be
balance. Have it all planned out. The focus of this house and all fronts. This implies that it can be that it can provide you with an understanding of not just your physical well-being and your relationship with your body, but also your mental, emotional state, including your response to hardship and potential areas for personal development. These residents can also provide information on your dream job and opportunities to help others. So it would be good. A good house to be. If you have anything in house 6, consider you a good character. And our god is meter. Meter. The perfect presentation of the maternal, she is a goddess, Demeter.
Demeter.
Yeah, I guess sorry. I know her thought I was the nickname in her, but Virgo is the goddess Demeter. The Demeter is the goddess of the soil and the guardian of abundant crop. Similarly, Virgo's capacity for nurturing, sensitivity, and empathy serves as her compass in life. So we understand that the house of health, it requires nurturing, being sensitive and empathy, not only for others, but for ourselves. Once we are balanced, there are our givens should be balanced. That was 6. And we're in the middle. So there's 12 houses. So no, that's fine the way you are. You're good there. House number 7. The house of partnership. During the 7th, this is the 7th house. During the 7th, throughout the 12th house, so it'd be from here to here. The emphasis is your birth chart changes from personal discoveries to interpersonal discoveries. Relationship. So from 1 to 6, from talking about the communication, the family, the health, the house of possession, the family house, I said, the health house, the joy house. That's all us. It's all within. Now, we're going to be talking about how we are with the rest of the individuals in this planet. So we start with a partnership house. During the sevens, we said that if dices that changes from personal to blah blah. Because of this, partnerships are the focus of the seventh house, which is ruled by Venus and Libra. We got another Venus here, right? You know. Venus and Libra. This isn't limited to romantic relationship. It is through that your interactions in contracts, negotiations, and economics. These are governed by the astrological placement in this house. This house is also known as the house of balance of relationships. So, as I learned in the social work studies, it's called systems. How do you interact with your partner, with your friends, at work, at your place of worship, worship. Like, not like worship, but worship.
Yeah.
Or either or.
Yeah, it could be on a warship.
It could be.
You're on a worship, you wanna be real friendly with your fellows.
So this is good, I believe, trying to get how do you feel yourself if you change jobs a lot, or if you go your friendships, you have a lot of friends, or you have through your life you've been leave them alone, collecting and discarding, yes. Cleaning house often. And so that is this house by Venus. Venus, it's a goddess, isn't she?
She's also a planet.
She's also a planet
Yeah.
Venus. And Libra. And it goes that the Greek goddess is Aphrodite.
Yeah,
Aphrodite.
makes sense.
So it's more like being everywhere, but not there. Astrology speaking, a Libra is associated with Greek goddess Aphrodite. Aphrodite. This captivating goddess of love has several characteristics linked to the sign of Libra. Aphrodite and those born under the sign of Libra are gregarious, ardent, and excellent communicators. I don't know what ardent means, but I was in Spanish, ardiente, someone is hot, someone with passion.
Yes, that would be good, yeah.
Right? There we go. So in 7, we forgot about talking about ourselves here. Now we're talking about how we are with the rest.
So 1 through 6 are internal.
Internal.
7 through 12 are external.
Yes. In. Out. We can move into the next slide. The house of metamorphosis, house of sex and death, as some might call it.
Interesting combination.
Sex to die for.
One happy way to leave this world.
Yes.
Vibrant and energetic Mars and Pluto rule this house.
Okay.
Mars and Pluto. I know for those that really know what the planets are and what? It actually has two planets, Mars and Pluto.
Well, Mars is also a god.
Okay, so we got the god Mars. Ah, but see here, it's not the god Mars. It's not the god Mars. It's the god Hades
Okay.
that
makes
rules
sense.
this house, which
Makes
makes.
sense.
And I guess that way we put the death in it.
That is a sex and death.
Mm-hmm.
Sons and death.
So the eighth house occupied by Scorpio. Scorpio. If you know, you know. This house is also about relationships, but it's more about how individuals change because of those interactions than how people act in interactions. So, yeah. Whatever you have going on in this house right here, between Hades, Mars, and Pluto, it means how you, as I said, how you change with your interactions. But it says, it explained that then how people act in interactions. Not how you act, but more like how you change. This involves understanding of one's sexual orientation, karma, place of birth and death. Additionally, share property with transformative powers such as debt and even joint finances is governed in this house. So it makes sense because having those relationships, even it could change you.
Mhm.
I mean, especially if you have sex with a person or not, you might marry them or you might ghost them.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to. It's okay.
I don't think it approves of you ghosting them.
No ghosting tonight.
No ghosts.
No ghosting,
Yeah.
no ghosting, just or finances. It talks about this is the joint finances and debt. That can also change your perspective on the other person and how you act towards the other person. You can see someone needing, and therefore you willing to give. Or someone just clear your bank account, you don't want to see them.
Mhm.
All right, so we talk about Hades here in Scorpio, the god of the underworld.
Mhm.
It stands in for the dynamic abilities displayed by Scorpios. The zodiac sign is frequently linked to passion, audacity, and secrecy. It should make you proud to be associated with someone as strong as if you are a Scorpio. All right. Yay to Scorpios. Hades.
I know, timing.
That's
Oh, like, behind the door.
So we learned
There.
on the 7th, we learn how to make friends. On the 8th, we learn to judge ourselves and to make peace with ourselves for it. And that's all I can say for that one. Next slide, it's number 9. The house of purpose. Right? Philosophy. What do I have? I have philosophy in there.
That's a philosophy.
The house of purpose or philosophy, sometimes known as the philosophy, is ruled by Jupiter and Sagittarius. Jupiter and Sagittarius. Oh, fun. And this is because philosophy or the rational investigation of the truth and principles of being knowledgeable or conduct. It is its focal point along with the higher mind. Our religion, values, ethics, and dreams are the main topics of our house. Studying the placements in this house may also provide insight into travel, culture, or even our ancestors. All these things can support our quest for meaning and personal development. So I would take the house 9, the house of philosophy. It's our urge for learning,
Mhm.
where we gather information and regarding everything. And we have in our house 9, our house of home, the god of wine,
Mm.
and that is
Philosophy.
Dionysus.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
okay.
Dionysus, yes.
Dionysus.
Yeah.
Dionysus is the ideal god to symbolize the Gregorius Sagittarius sign. The zodiac sign is associated with passion, adaptability, excitement, and entertainment. Sagittarius people can experience a mystical bond with the untamed and impulsive Dionysus. So it makes sense that this god, it's in this house since it's about traveling, drinking wine, I guess,
That's the whole point of traveling.
right? To try the different wines around the world.
I concur.
Mhm.
Or rum, as the case might be.
And knowledge. Because how do we get knowledge if we don't travel, if we don't open a book, if we don't cross the street, if we don't ask questions, if we don't open a bottle of wine, that one can make you ask more questions.
Drinking is a great way to get to meet new people.
Mhm.
I don't, it was in PBS, the TV show, it's a culture.
Mhm.
They, when they have, I guess the big people that rule the place, when they have an idea, if they are sober, they discuss it when they're drunk. And when they're drunk, they discuss it when they're sober.
It's a good idea, actually.
So it's a good idea to learn and to know
Mhm.
when I'm here and I'm not here, how I think. And that's all.
Mhm.
Dionysus, if you're drinking wine, call her up, call him up.
She's definitely in one.
We're gonna go to house 10. The following house. This is the house of the social status. Who are you in society? This house purpose, sometimes known as the house of no, since Capricorn is one of the zodiac signs that work the hardest, you should look at the 10th house. I should write the name of the house. Oh, you'll follow me, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, the 10th house is the house of social, which it governs by Saturn and Capricorn. To find more about your accomplishments, career and social standing, or how you relate to, are devoted to, or organized by friendly companionship or relations. Astrologers can learn more about your job path from midheaven, the border, or the cusp of the 10th house. So the cusp of the 10th house will be house 9 and house 11. So we're gonna figure it out when it comes to 11, what it has related to number 10. Your professional aspirations and goals and your potential for achievement can be here with the help or placement in this house. Because celebrities frequently have many placements in this house, some astrologers refer to this house as the fame house. And on our 10th house, we have Apollo,
Okay.
the Greek deity Apollo, who ruled over the sun and was skilled in curing with the supernatural, is associated with Capricorns. The need for protection and safety strongly influences the sign of Zodiac. Like Apollo, Capricorns are practical, astute, and ambitious. So we are learning that our social status also has to do with our philosophy, which is number 9 here. So all these kind of is gonna go together. So we start. If you want to be in good status, you better know stuff, right? And it makes sense. Next slide, please. The 11th house is the house of friendship, of community, and is governed by Aquarius. 11. We got Aquarius, Uranus, and Saturn. Is concerned with establishing harmony in our relationships and connections. You can learn more about the clubs, social circles, and organizations you are drawn to by looking into astrological positions for this house. Self-actualization defines as the achievement of one's full potential through creativity, independence, spontaneity, and grasp of the real world. Whatever that means, is a focal point of this house and primarily influenced by the group ideas of behaviors. So, once you all get the time you were born and you go into houseastrology.com and it tells you, you're gonna realize that the house 10, your social status is gonna be shaped by your philosophy and by your friendships. What you know and who you know. All right. So our God is a god. God, Prometheus. Yeah, what do you know about him?
The shapeshifter
The shapeshifter.
and brought fire.
An innovator.
Yes.
It's the best way to.
And also getting his liver plucked out by an
Yeah,
eagle.
that too.
Okay.
For bringing fire.
Yeah.
So-
For giving
Yeah.
mankind the gift of fire.
Oh, so
He's an
he
innovator.
he sacrificed that. His liver.
Well, every day it gets plucked out and it regrows again.
But it regrows again.
Oh, good.
Eternal torment.
Eternal.
Greeks were
But yeah, I
really
mean,
good at,
it makes sense though, because he did it for mankind, which would be basically community, so.
Mhm.
yeah, it makes
For the
sense.
friendships.
Yeah.
You know,
So he'd be a good man
Make
to know.
mankind better, is what he did.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, giving of yourself to help your community be better and, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Which it makes sense with the Aquarian people. Aquarians are known for being humanitarians,
Mhm.
that kind of stuff. And again, I'm not talking about the zodiacs. That will be for my next talk. I can pick on everybody the same. And astrological speaking, those born under the sign of Aquarius are related to Prometheus, the god of creation and persistence. You will gain skills in collaboration and communication because of these alignments. Moreover, Ganymede, the legendary son of King Tros, is linked to the constellation Aquarius. From more Greek people.
Amy was a cupbearer.
He was, yeah, he was the young boy Zeus fell in love with, so he whisked him off to become the cupbearer.
Mhm.
Very convenient.
Right?
He also has a moon named after him around,
Yeah, it does.
around Jupiter.
Which would be,
Zeus, again, yes. Okay, so very convenient.
So we learned this is a very hectic place. Very good to know where you are in the Alps.
Yeah. It's very interwoven.
Yeah. And we're gonna go to our final house, house of sacrifice, the subconscious house. The sun Pisces and the planets Jupiter and Neptune govern the 12th house, also called the house of the unconscious. You can look into this house to learn more about your imagination, sentiments, and subconscious mind, which exists and operates beneath or beyond consciousness. As Pisces is linked to emotions and creativity, positions in this 12th house represents personal assets and liabilities and how individuals face and grow from their past deeds. Certain astrologers also think that this is an excellent place to look for his regarding old age and the afterlife. I will say this one is the house of meditation, the subconscious, beyond consciousness. It wouldn't be, I'm trying to relate it to the third eye, but there is more knowledge, more view, and the being, what is this, a clumsy? Clumsy house? This is where you can make the mistakes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you won't remember.
Yeah.
After drinking all the wine, and you get back here.
Yeah.
The house of, and it's sign is Pisces. Pisces. It's a water sign. A lot of drinking in there. The afterlife. And last but not least, our Greek mythology complex figure, Ishtar. Ishtar?
Ishtar.
Ishtar. Who stands for passion, emotion, and fertility. All those things that you can be unconsciously doing. And in harmony with Pisces, the zodiac sign natives are significantly impacted by their inner urges and emotions. So it's like going blinded. It's blindly doing things, blindly believing, blinding. See, it has to do with it stands for passion, emotions, and fertility. Fertility and consciousness, I don't know. But the so this is where I finish the 12 houses. What we went over was the meanings of the house, which of course, it doesn't mean much if you don't know where you stand in here. So I'll be back
Okay.
with that information. And for now, you should be taking care of your house 11, 10, and 9, 9, 10, and 11. And I'll be more than happy to send you all. It is a it's called Cafe Astrology. It's a free website that all you have to put is your information, your where you were born, your time, the date and the time, and it gives you this whole chart that it can make you, what is this? But once you know the houses
Mhm.
and what each of these means, and then you see where your Venus, your Venus, where your Venus is, so where your moon is, and where your sign is, it makes a lot more sense. This is what a book that I made for myself. If I can just, it shows, or maybe very clear, but it shows where all my little things are. Can pass it around. It is called the birthday book. Facebook made me buy it.
Facebook did it.
Yeah, once again, all you have to do is ask what time you were born. It is in your birth certificate.
Mhm.
And then you can discover a whole lot with that information. As I was reading the book, it was like reading my biography. I was going through the flashbacks of myself. So it's very interesting what the stars have to say about us and what is written in the stars. And that's where I conclude. Thank you very much for all attending.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful
I
day.
never knew what they must be for.